Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope you're having an amazing day. It is the 30th of August, Wednesday, wonderful Wednesday. Hope you're having a great day. This is Paul Hutchings coming to you with episode 101 of The Good Parts, a daily social media show where I go live Monday through Friday, right around 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, in an effort to share one good part from my life and or business. And today, I'm definitely going to be sharing one of the best parts to both my life and my business. Something that has added a ton of richness and flavor to my life. And also, I believe, has been directly responsible for creating an incredibly profitable and rewarding business. And as I mentioned, and by the way, if you're joining me live, please comment below. Let me know who you are, where you're plugging in from. If you're watching the replay, same rules apply. Just kidding. No rules. I'm about freedom. You don't have to comment if you don't want to, but I would appreciate it knowing who's tuning in. So yeah, so the topic today was inspired by a Facebook message I got this morning from an old friend, Susan Beasley. Hey, Susan, if you're watching this, good to see you. Hope you and Chris are doing well. I met Chris and Susan in a company that I used to be in, and they're great people. I really enjoyed getting to know them and building a little bit of a relationship. And Chris and Susan, they at one point were with our company. They're not with our company right now. But this morning, this message was, Paul, you should maybe consider replying to this post. And they sent me a post from someone that I don't know. I hadn't heard of this person. But the post was basically, can someone please explain to me what heart-centered marketing is? And then later on in the post, it says, I'm confused. And part of the post talked about seeing a lot of ads popping up on Facebook talking about heart-centered marketing, which, by the way, I have also noticed. And it's been curious to me because when we started our company 6 years ago, we started using that phrase within our community, heart-centered. We're heart-centered freedom crusaders. And I don't know that we coined the term, but I don't remember reading about it or hearing it anywhere else. But I'm sure it's in the collective consciousness somehow. But because we had been using that term when these ads started popping up, I took note. Oh, wow, there's other people out there talking about heart-centered marketing. How cool is that? And so what I did this morning is I responded to the post, and I wanted to share with you my response and also add a few extra details that I truly believe can make, if you're in marketing, if you're building a network marketing business or an affiliate marketing business, or really any kind of a business, I believe understanding some of these things can potentially, high probability actually, make you a much better marketer, help you develop deeper connections with people. And if you're in a business where you're growing a residual income, this is essential. It's essential that whatever it is that you're doing, that people feel connected to you, not just on an intellectual level, not just on a profit level, but on a deeper level, on a heart level. And this heart-centered marketing, understanding some of these distinctions here, I think can really, really help with that. So I'm going to share with you the comment that I posted. Happy hump day to you, Danny. Thanks for doing the manifesto on the mastermind today. I love hearing your voice and seeing your face. Gail says, I love the phrase because it means something special to me, and HBA is definitely heart-centered. Awesome. Well, thank you for that. We strive to be. So let me share with you what I responded, and then I'll add a few extra thoughts. And I'd love to hear your thoughts too. If you've heard the phrase or used the phrase, what does it mean to you, that someone strives to be a heart-centered marketer? And right off the bat, I'll just say that one of the things that pops out to me is we both have a brain and we both have a heart, or we all have a brain and we all have a heart. I've used the phrase before, God gave us a head and a heart, a brain and a heart, and we're supposed to use both. I don't think we're supposed to just be one or the other. And so there's this idea that, there's the logical side of life, which might be fact-based, science-based, hard data-based. And then there's maybe the emotional or spiritual side of life, which cares about facts and data, yes, but also realizes that there's more to life than facts and data. We're dealing with people here, and people are more than numbers. And so that's just a little initial direction that I think about when I think about this term. So let me go ahead and share the comment that I made this morning on this phrase here. What I wrote was, I'm sure it means different things to different people. We started using it many years ago before it started popping up in ads. To us, it means having honesty, authenticity, and compassion in business and for people, to strive to do business in a way that helps all, hurts no one, and perhaps even adds something to the world via a philanthropic tie-in. To us, it also means people over profits and or capitalism tempered with the golden rule. Lastly, to value wealth and prosperity, but to never put money or principles or sacrifice your character to make a buck. To remember that there are many forms of pay than money, other forms of pay than money, and to strive to build a business rich in all forms of compensation. And then the quote from Napoleon Hill, if money is all you have in your paycheck at the end of the week, you have been grossly underpaid. Then I thanked Susan for tagging me in this post. So those were some of my initial comments. But as I thought about this after I made that comment, a few other things popped out, and I jotted these down in a notepad, and I want to pass these along for your consideration. So the first one is adding color to your message rather than black and white features and benefits. And that just simply means that in your marketing messages, if you can tell stories that illustrate benefits and value and touching moments that are happening in the lives of people as a connect, because they, or through some sort of connection to whatever it is that you're doing, whatever product you're offering, whatever service you're offering, whatever business you're building, you want to do that because stories and more than stories, but real, authentic, genuine, heartfelt stories, what they do is they really they tug at the heart, and they cause this feeling of connectedness. And specifically, I want to elaborate on this a little bit. So in sales, we all probably know about features and benefits. So I'll give you an example. In the company that I'm in, that I helped co-found, we have a compensation plan where we pay 80% commission. That is a feature. And the benefit would be, because we pay 80% commission and people can earn up to $120 residual for every customer, that makes it so, here's the benefit, people can grow an income much faster with what we have than with anything else that I'm aware of. So what I just described is feature and benefit, black and white. Now, why is that black and white? Now, it is a little unique to what we do. However, there are many companies out there providing income opportunities for people. There are companies out there who claim to pay 100% commissions and high commission rates. And so leaving it at that with just the feature and the benefit, it does nothing really for your heart. It does nothing really for your connection, for your emotion, for your feeling that, wow, this business is something special. It's different. To do that, we need to do the other thing that I mentioned and not just rely on features and benefits, but add color to the message through what? Through real authentic stories. And the real authentic story could be maybe an income story, and that's common in home business opportunities. People tell income stories where, this person was broke and then they joined this business and then they made a bunch of money and then their life changed in this way and became so much better. And those can work, but those aren't the only ones. And I would venture to say that if that's all your message is income stories, you are missing out on a huge opportunity to tell other kinds of stories that add value to people's lives, that help them to feel connected to what it is that you do. And I'll give you one example. So this morning on our Grow Rich Mastermind, if you don't know what that is, you can visit my website at paulhutchings.net/GIFTS. And you can click on the button that says Grow Rich Mastermind and you can listen to the replay. So today, Amy Starr Allen was hosting our call. And what she did is she came on the call. She didn't say one thing about money. But what she did was she started to tell stories that were from her recent life, that were, some of them were from her recent life. One of them was she recently was in a surfing accident. And so she told that story, and then that story led to another story about how she lost her mom in a car accident when she was younger. And the whole time she was speaking, I was just sucked into the call. And I was feeling sympathy and empathy, and my heart was just like with her as she was telling these stories. And then, of course, she turned those stories, or she took those stories. And as I was feeling connected and emotionally tied and feeling empathy, and my mind was thinking about different things, she's passing along ideas and tips on how she navigated her way through those, which is value to me. And so when she finished the call, I thought, well, that's heart-centered marketing. Whatever it was that Amy just did, she was authentic. She shared something that was on her mind, in her heart, something she felt like she wanted to share. She told stories with lessons that could be valuable for other people. And so that's heart-centered marketing. That's totally different than coming on the call and being like, hey, guess what, guys? This business that I'm in pays 80% commissions and we're growing all this residual income. I mean, that has one effect, but it's not the effect. That's not the same effect of feeling emotionally connected to Amy, and picking up some value for your own personal life. So that's one example of color to the message versus features and benefits. And the other thing that I wanted to share is that if all you've got in your business are features and benefits, then you are easily overtaken by competition at any moment in time. Because at any moment in time, another company can come out with the same features and benefits, maybe better features and benefits. Any moment in time, any company can come out with basically just anything to match or surpass what you think you have with your features and benefits. But what companies have a hard time doing is coming out and adding richness and color and life and love and true authentic intention and life-changing stories that are real from people that are connected to whatever it is that you're doing. Now, that is something that is hard. That is hard to compete with, and very few people are doing that. As far as I can see, very few people are doing that. So by learning to add color to your message and speak from a place of authenticity and inspiration, you're putting yourself like above the crowd. It's no longer about features and benefits. Like, they have their place, and sometimes you can work those into your messages, but you're really doing things in a different way. If you're wondering if this stuff that I'm talking about works, the company that we started, we've paid out almost $5 million in commissions to affiliates. And guess how often we talk about how much income all the various affiliates are earning in our company? Almost never do we talk about it. So what do we talk about? These things that I'm mentioning, the heart-centered stuff. We have as you probably know, we donate a portion of all of our revenue to a company called Feed My Starving Children. And so we've tied that into our message. So we create videos around that. Our recognition system is tied in with that. So Amy, who I just mentioned, she's one of our top affiliates. And when we recognize Amy, the way we recognize her is we always say she's an Oak benefactor, which means through her production, she's helped to provide 5,000 days of meals to kids in need through Feed My Starving Children. That's a different message than coming out and saying Amy's one of our top affiliates because she's earned this much money. That message, this much money, it doesn't affect people in the same way as she's helped to feed 5,000 days of meals to kids who were starving, who wouldn't have had food to eat had Amy not decided to start the business and get to work and develop herself. You see what I'm saying? Like, those are two different, the way they land on you are different. And so these bullet points that I mentioned, I want to recap: adds color to the message versus black and white features and benefits. And the way you do that is just by telling stories, by looking for the experiences and the moments in your life and in your business that are touching your heart, that have a lesson. You tell those stories and people will feel connected to you. And of course, you speak from a place of authenticity and inspiration. So touch on that for just a second. Inspiration. I think that's another thing that's connected to heart-centered marketing. Are you inspired from time to time that you're supposed to say something or share something? I believe I am. For many years, I've woken up, I've been thinking, I'm reading, I'm seeking the best in my life, and some message will float into my mind, or some lesson from an experience or a conversation that I had. That's inspiration. And so when you have the courage to teach those things and share those things, I think that falls into the category of heart-centered marketing. Okay, so the third one, and I'm going to come to the comments here. The third one is heart-centered marketers, I believe, consider the effect their words and actions will have on others, aside from just personal gain and personal benefit. From this frame, communication is always sent from a place of striving to leave someone better off for having heard, whether or not the person ever buys or joins. So there's two things there. Thing number one is it can't just be all about me, me, me. Whenever we're speaking as a heart-centered marketer, we want to strive to think about, everyone, as many people as we can. And we want to speak from a place of providing the highest good to all people who are receiving that message. And I'll give you just one simple example of how we've chosen to do things differently within our company that kind of illustrates this point, I think. Is, with a lot of companies in home business have leaderboards, where you rank order everybody, top producers, you can see their name, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6. And Mike and I, my business partner, we've been in companies like that. We've been on leaderboards like that. And there are pros and cons to leaderboards. For a company, the pro is it encourages competition, which tends to create more sales. So from a company ownership standpoint, you could argue that's probably a good thing to do, have a leaderboard, display who the producers are. But from a human level, one of the things that we noticed with leaderboards is that it sometimes creates unhealthy competition, and it sometimes creates a feeling of less than, more than for all of the people in the company. So if someone's on the leaderboard, that can encourage a feeling of, I'm better than everybody. Look at me. I'm the man. I'm the woman. I'm everything. I'm better than all you guys. I'm not saying people who are on leaderboards are taking this attitude. What I'm saying is that it can kind of encourage that attitude. And furthermore, most everyone else in the company that's not on the leaderboard, because if you got a leaderboard, you've got 10 or 20 spots on there. And if you're building something big, hopefully you've got thousands and thousands of people in your thing. How do all the thousands and thousands of people feel when every day the company is saying, these are the people that matter in a way, and again, I'm not saying all people come to this conclusion. For some people in those thousands, it can motivate them. So some people will see that and be inspired and want to strive for that. That's great. But for a lot of people, and I'm just speaking for personal experience, in some companies, like I was in one system where when they did their events, they would sell VIP tickets, which meant you would pay extra money to be able to go to a lunch or to a dinner with the top ones, the holy ones, the producers. And I remember looking at that, and for whatever reason, I just thought to myself, that's just dumb. I'm not going to pay extra money to go be with the holy ones. It's like, and furthermore, if someone's I don't know, this is just my opinion. If someone's a real leader, they care about helping as many people as they can. And so, and again, I don't want this to be criticism, because I'm not saying that my view is the be all end all view. And I may be wrong on this. I'm just saying the way that it lands on me is, why not just give our best to everyone? Why not just give our best to everyone and not make people, pay to be in a special class? And so, yeah, that leaderboard thing, some people in those thousands of people, if the focus, and I've been in other companies where the focus it literally was, these people are worshiped like gods. And then that it's like, well, what about all of us? My wife, one time at an event, there was this kind of thing going on. And my wife said, she leaned over to me and she whispered in my ear, there's more than money that makes up a leader. And I thought, that's really wise, honey. You're on point. It's not just how much money have you earned. Now you're a god and everyone should worship you and listen to you. No, there's more to being a person that that might be in a category worthy of people's respect and emulation. There's more than money. And so when we put together our company, we said, you know what, we're going to do it differently. We're not going to do that. And we've strived to do it differently. And so in case you're curious, the way we do it in our company is anyone who, and we don't even focus on this. So we're not talking about the top sales list all the time. In fact, the only people that know about it probably are the people that like dug in and somehow found it, because it's actually kind of hidden, in our community intentionally. But what we've landed on at this point in time is we take anyone who has produced a sale, just one sale for the previous week. We take all of the people who have produced one sale, and then we scramble the list. So there's no rhyme or reason to the order. And then that's what we put up there so that someone who just joined this week, who produced the sale, can be right there on the list with someone who's been with us for 3 or 4 or 5 years and made a whole ton of money. And whether that thing we're doing is the exact right thing to do or not, the point of me illustrating that or sharing that is that it relates back to this other point of just trying to think about everybody involved rather than just this group or me, and trying to speak and make decisions that are of the highest benefit for all involved. I think that's another, intention behind this concept of heart-centered marketing. So those are my thoughts. I wanted to pass those along. I see we got a lot of comments coming in. Thanks everyone for tuning in, and I'm going to come to the comments. I do want to let you know, if you're finding me for the first time, I do these lives every day, Monday through Friday. If you got value from today's episode, I would love to encourage you to subscribe to me on social media so you can see more of my content in your newsfeed. And/or you can visit my website here and pick up a free gift if you're curious about the company, the company behind some of the details I was talking about. There's a link there on that page that says "Grow Residual Income" or something like that. So you can check that out if you want, and you'll be subscribing to my email list. All right, so let's go to the comments here. Let's see. Gail Kendig says, a heart-centered business is one that places people and their well-being at the core of its operations. I believe it's as simple as applying the biblical principle as loving your neighbor as yourself. I like that a lot, and I believe it resonates with my concept of heart-centered. So thank you so much for that, Gail. Greg Napier says, this is good, Paul. Yes! Thank you, Greg. I'm so glad to hear that. I want to be good every day. So thanks for the good feedback. Delroy says, hey, Delroy, good to see you. Gregory Napier says, I love the way you bring value to the marketplace, and I love this community. Thank you so much. And right back at you, Mr. Napier. Kevin Coe says, principle-centered leadership is so key for all. Win-win. Yeah, and thank you so much for that, Kevin. And that's part of our vision. Freedom, which is money related, but how? Is it just about the money? No, freedom through principle-centered leadership, which means we have a set of values that we will not sacrifice for the almighty dollar. And I think that's part of being heart-centered, like being tuned into what is right, what is wrong, what is good, what is bad, what are healthy ways to treat people and build communities, what are unhealthy ways to treat people and build communities, and living and doing business by some of these principles, I think is definitely tied into that heart-centeredness. Booker Williams, what's up, Booker? Good to see you. He says, yes, And when you're number one, you have a target on your back. That's right. And another thing you just reminded me of, Booker, is, one of the things we want to do is we want to inspire freedom through principle-centered leadership. And so when I think about goal setting, in my mind, people should set goals that are relevant to them. And I think that sometimes if you have a leaderboard or competitions, people can get sucked into setting goals that are just, I just want to beat so-and-so, or, I just want to win in this competition. And then they sometimes forget other goals in their lives that are important for them. And so that's another reason that we didn't really lean into that leaderboard idea, is we want people to set goals that are good for them. Not to compete, not to be better than, but what's good for you? What do you want in your life? What are those goals that are important to you? And set those goals and go for them. So yes, thank you, Booker. The holy ones. You thought that was funny. I think that's funny too, but it's funny because it's true, like that meme, right? Greg Napier says, I was in a company like that. Wow. Yeah, I think we probably all were. Delroy says, a con of network marketing. Yeah, I mean, maybe a con. I'm not sure about a con, but definitely a thing that bubbles up, not just in network marketing, but anywhere where there are communities gathered together. We just have to be aware. We just have to be aware of intentions. I think some leaders maybe do some of these things intentionally. Others maybe do them because it's the way they've always been done. Others do them because they work. So I don't want to assign ill intention to everyone who's doing things like that, because I don't know. Yeah. So anyway, Booker says, I traded my ego for equity. Ooh, that's good. I like that, Booker. Thanks for sharing that. Greg Napier says, she is right. Making more money doesn't make you a leader, right? Yeah. Amen to that. What if I just decided that I wanted to just abandon my family and focus 100% on, growing my income as big and as far as I could? Would that make me a good leader if I abandoned my family, my kids, my wife, but I made a ton of money? No, that'd be terrible. Like there's more than money that makes up a leader. So thank you for that, Greg. Booker says, I'm just feeding my family and showing others how to do it. Who cares if you are number one? Amen to that. Amen to that. David Haynes says, money is not wait, hold on. Money is not the source, simply a resource. Yes. Yes. That's good. Thank you, David. I appreciate that. Kathy Early says, thanks. You're very welcome. Thanks for tuning in, Kathy. Booker says, good live. Yay. Thanks, Booker. Appreciate that. And Kathy says, thanks, Paul. Love your heart. Oh, thank you so much. Love yours too, Kathy. And I love all of your hearts. I think we've all got beautiful hearts deep down inside. And, the process of building a business for me, and I think for many others, one of the things I love so much about it is you dig deep into who you are, and you reflect, and you find out, what are the things you believe? What are the things you don't believe? What do you resonate with? What do you not resonate with? And it's this it's this long time of journey where over time, more and more of the best in you just starts to shine and shine and shine and shine. It's one of the most beautiful things about building a business from home and personal development, when it's done in the best way, is that everything you do is contributing to that unfolding process where more of the best of you is coming out, and the community can contribute to that. The business can contribute to that. Like everything can really contribute to your growth as a human being. And I just love it so much, when it's done from the place of highest intentions. Delroy says, thank you. Thank you to Delroy. All right, guys. Well, have an awesome day. I'll be back tomorrow. Get out there, take action, go for your dreams. And thanks again for all the very kind words and contributions in the comments today. I appreciate you guys. All right. Hasta la vista, Freedom Crusader babies. Bye for now.